What you getting at with the book script? Spit that shit out, man!
Do you want to form an alliance with me?
Absolutely, I do. Good.
Go outside, nerd. Get out. Go.
Oh my God, I did not think he was going to do that. That scared me. That actually scared me a little bit.
It's called Two Brothers. Two Brothers. It's just called Two Brothers.
Welcome back to another episode of Two Brothers. We are joined by another special guest on the podcast. He is we were introduced with another Josh. It seems like we keep attracting a lot of Joshes to the podcast. But we are joined by one of our great friends, other Josh, who is not. Don't get confused with Josh. This is another Josh.
Don't get confused by this guy.
Yeah, don't get confused by this guy who says this.
Can I finish my argument?
Josh, all right, dude. There's too many voices in the fucking room right now, dude. Okay. Josh, tell us a little about yourself, man. I mean, this is your first time being on the podcast. What made you want to be on our podcast?
Well, man, I'm just a big video game fan, big movie fan, you know, and yeah. I'm sitting in a weird spot right now because I've actually haven't been exposed to much movies and video games for the past few years because being in the army, I didn't really have a lot of time to enjoy it. So now that I'm out of it, I feel like I've been like doing nothing but catching up with a lot of this stuff that I missed out on.
It's
and
like
listening,
rediscovering it, like
yeah. It almost feels like I'm playing video games again and watching certain movies again, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of a refreshing take, to be honest.
No, dude. I mean, that's kind of cool to hear. And tonight we're gonna talk about like one of our favorite genres in video games. I think we can all agree, which is horror,
action.
Not. But going back to our episode 2 episodes ago, we did a review of Silent Hill 2 Remake. We hope to have Josh on that episode, but we're going to continue the discussion of Silent Hill 2. You can call this like a post-mortem discussion of the Silent Hill 2 Remake. I'm actually very curious to hear what Josh's thoughts are on the Silent Hill 2 Remake. Didn't really get to hear what you get to say about the game, so I mean, without further ado, dude, let's dive into this. Before we talk about Silent Hill 2 Remake,
Jesus
though,
Christ.
Spoilers ahead for those who haven't played Silent Hill 2 original or remake. We're going to be spoiling all of it and dissecting it, and so just fair warning. Also, I keep forgetting to do this every time we record, but please like, share, and subscribe to everyone who likes video games and stuff like that. Why do you have your eyes closed, dude? Are you gonna fall asleep?
No.
Okay, cool. So I mean, yeah, let's get into it. Josh, what were your thoughts on the Silent Hill 2 remake?
Oh man, I really liked it. How do I explain this? So I really liked how this one was taken a lot more serious. The mature tones into this game, the atmosphere of the game, and my favorite thing about this game were how they portrayed these characters. Like we only have 4 main characters, but man,
yeah, that's true. Yep.
The actors did such a good job like portraying these characters, man.
I agree.
I think they don't give enough credit to these 4 characters or 4 voice actors, man.
Yeah.
Especially the oh man, what's the protagonist's name? I forgot.
James Sunderland.
Yeah, James Sunderland, man. He did amazing. I kind of hope he wins that Game Award or that best,
for the nomination. Yep.
Yeah, man. He absolutely deserves it. I don't think this game is like a 10 out of 10. I think it has its issues.
All right, Edgar's already
But
shaking his head right now. He's
I
like,
can already hear it, man. So
I mean, look, I'm actually very interested to hear what the criticisms are because, like,
Yeah.
me and Edgar fucking love this game. I've seen what people have said online, like their issues with it, mostly like technical stuff, but I haven't heard any real like criticisms of the game. So I mean, what kept it from being a 10 out of 10?
So, it's funny you say that because a lot of people gave it shit for the fighting mechanics of the game. I thought it was perfect, honestly.
I agree.
Like, they did it so well where it didn't feel like the enemies were sponges or the guns actually did damage.
Yeah.
So I didn't think there was a problem with it. My problem though was there was a lack of assets in the game. So in the sense of I think they could have gone a bit farther by creating new enemies in the game. 'Cause it gets a
Okay.
little bit repetitive. So
Okay.
I'm gonna start early with comparing to other of my favorite horror games from recent. Resident Evil 4 did a really good job of introducing us new characters in the remake.
Like, you mean new
Uh,
enemies or actually new characters?
Both. So you have. So I don't know if you guys remember. In the original one, we have Salvador in the beginning, right, with the chainsaw running after you. Um, in the remake, you fight this guy off, and you feel like they're gonna take the same route as the original one, but then you have this new character. I forgot his name, but he has like a pig mask.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah.
it's like a cow head.
A cow head,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so you get characters like that getting introduced, and that's what they like. I really like that kept that game so fresh. Versus Silent Hill, like again, spoiler warning, but
Yeah.
all the most innovative thing they did was changing certain characters like behavior as you go on in the game, if that makes sense.
The creatures, right?
Yes.
I mean, they did introduce the mannequin. Like I call them the like mannequin spiders, the ones that like run up the wall. Those were not in the
Exactly.
original. That's like
No, they weren't.
it's a new addition to the game.
But it didn't feel new,
Yeah,
that was the thing.
I feel like for some old fans, that's kind of a good thing though. Like it felt like it was integrated well enough where it feels like, yeah, okay, yeah, it's not a new addition, but it fits so well with the world anyways. Like you just feel like it was already there to begin with. I can get how some people were just like, oh man, I wanted something new, but then you have to remember like, okay, you're gonna create a new creature. What's gonna be the symbolism behind it? Where's it gonna? What level is it gonna be in, and how is it gonna kind of be a part of this big picture? It's like I can understand why they probably didn't create new creatures, but I can see where you're coming from. Where it's just like there was a lack of enemy variety.
I agree. I think they just wanted to play it safe, which is fine, right? But I think if they might have taken a bit more risk, I think they would have gotten a higher rating from me. So,
I mean, in terms of risk, dude, I think I disagree though. I I feel like they took a huge fucking risk with well, I mean, with creatures and not as much. I think their behavior is like different in a more terrifying way, but everything else, like they didn't have to go that hard, man. Like they really like the other worlds and stuff like they added into the game, dude. That it's like a complete reimagining almost. I mean, what do you think? I mean, come on, dude, step up to the plate. What do you think?
Well, I think we talked about that. I don't know if it was in the last episode or off screen, but that's what I told you too. It's like some of the controls wasn't great. Like when you have to pick up things, it wouldn't like register.
Register, yeah.
That was the only thing, and some bugs here and there.
Yeah.
But besides that,
you think it was like perfectly well paced?
Like Josh said too, but like I can see them not really adding new enemies because this one it's already established the enemies before, if that makes sense. Like this is his versions of enemies. And
in Silent Hill, yeah.
And I want to see how it, if they added new things into it, would have worked. If that makes sense, like each one represents some grief of what he's dealing with, right?
Right.
So, yeah, like with Resident Evil, I think it's the other way around. I think they played it safe.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. I mean, I do remember hearing that enemy that Josh mentioned, the one that has a cow head, that was like a late addition. Like they didn't add that until
oh shit, really?
Like maybe 6 months before the game launched, because they realized they noticed like, oh, this is not, there's not too many enemies on screen that really challenges the player. Like, let's add this new like tank kind of enemy, and that was like, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, I think it was like a late addition. Like that wasn't originally in the game, which you can kind of tell, right? Because they're placed kind of weirdly. Or what do you think, Josh? You think they were like, because you said they were integrated pretty well in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. I don't see an issue with like you said that like it felt like we weren't challenged enough. Because if anything, I feel like out of all the survival horror games I've played recently, Resident Evil 4 was one of the very few that actually made me feel like I needed to watch what I was shooting. What type, like how much ammo I was wasting. Because in Silent Hill, dude, I like finished this game and I was loaded.
Me too, dude. Me too. I was like, I think I had like 234 rounds.
And that's and I think that's another issue, right? With 4, you're like, oh crap, this knife is gonna go out, and I depend on this knife to like get me through this game. And Silent Hill, like you could go through the whole game with that pipe or the wooden like stick in the pipe, like through the. I think you can go through the whole thing actually without
you get a trophy.
If
you get a trophy for
it.
Yeah.
Right. So when and throughout the game I was like, oh man, like I need to save ammo. Like this game is probably not gonna take care of me as well as Resident Evil did.
Yeah.
And realizing like it was the opposite, Resident Evil like Ash 4 was not looking out for me as much as Silent Hill did.
Okay.
Well, what other things stood out to you in terms of like criticisms for the game?
So for criticism, I think that's it, man. Because honestly, I don't want anybody to think I like don't like this game, because I love this game. This is like probably my favorite game I've played all year, man. Because
really, okay,
yeah. It hasn't gone close to anything this year, like that came out this year that I've played.
Man, it was great.
My favorite thing was the themes, man. Like I loved how more mature this one was taken than the original one.
Yeah, it is.
I think I said in the last or off screen, I even said like I think this one took it more grounded. Like you said, mature.
It's grounded, but it also still it retains some of the weirdness that's in the original. There's some line deliveries in the game that feels off. That feels kind of like it's
like you're in a dream, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I think that it's grounded also. Like it feels more realistic. And I mean, what was your favorite section of the game? Because there's a lot that we didn't cover in terms of our review. We missed talking about like the prison. The historical society feels pretty like 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Opinion, but like, what was your favorite part exploring into the game?
For me, it was when you first get to the apartments where it really hits me. I think that like they did such a good job at hitting you what you're actually going up against.
Yeah.
Because the game's like being fair to you at the start. You're getting onesies and twosies, and like the puzzles are like, it's not really puzzles. You're just trying to like find the next location to get to.
Yeah.
But once you get to the apartment, you're like, oh crap, like this game is being real right now.
Yeah, they take off the fucking training wheels and they're like, here we go.
Yeah, and I praise so much how they just like drop you in there and they're like, good luck, buddy. And like, you just,
it kind of
like, shit, here we go.
It feels like the original in that sense, where it just doesn't hold your hand. It gives you that central puzzle that you have to get back to with the coins and everything. but that's it. Like the rest, you kind of have to piece it together.
Yeah. Now that you say it, they do such a good job at that where I've been getting so tired of those type of games that guide you through the whole game, like what to do, like how to solve the puzzle. If you haven't done it, like if you haven't figured it out in like 3 minutes, like they're like you have some character telling you like, oh, you should do this,
Yeah.
Like this game like leaves you like alone and like having you figure everything out.
Yeah, the one that was like a head scratcher was when you enter that room that feels like it was like a fucking saw trap, you know what I'm talking about? With all the markings on the walls.
Yes.
That one felt like a head scratcher to me, and that's when I realized like, oh shit, Bloober Team might actually know what the fuck they're doing with puzzles. Like they understand. And Edgar and I talked about it on the podcast before, like with the coin puzzle and how it expands on it. It doesn't just, it's not like the original, you know? So moments like that were really cool. What did you think of because it really like overhauled the prison section.
Yes.
What did you think of it? What same for you, Eder, like you can jump in, but like what did you guys think of the prison section?
Oh, hold on, I want to say my favorite part.
All right, go ahead. Calm down, all right?
It's I would say the last section, the hotel.
The hotel's your favorite part?
Yeah.
Really?
Once he sees the video that he killed his wife, then it cuts to him. Now the hotel is in shambles and it's ruined and all this shit.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That was really cool. I like how it was subtly decaying as you continued exploring.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
You were there when I was shooting the enemies and you were telling me like, hey, they're not
Yeah, they're not they're done.
They're done.
You don't have to kill them anymore. Like,
and I was like, oh, they
fulfilled their job.
Yeah, little things like that was like, oh, okay.
Did you kill any of the enemies towards the end, Josh? Like when you noticed that they weren't aggro anymore?
I think I killed everybody. Dude.
Really?
Dude, I had so much ammo. I was just shooting everybody up.
I remember, like, I think it was one of the line figures were just like on the ground, and I thought they were gonna come up at me, and they didn't. And I was just like, oh shit. And then the nurse just was like, she looked like she was drunk, and she just fell over, and just that was it. I was like, oh fuck, they're not attacking me anymore. That's kind of cool, you know?
Yeah.
That whole, you're right, the hotel, that was pretty cool too. I liked how they weren't aggro anymore.
Did you guys see that hotel was modeled by the Stanley Hotel?
Even more so, yeah, dude. Like
that blew my mind.
It was it feels like a 1-to-1 like recreation of the Stanley Hotel.
Yes.
It was fucking cool.
Sorry, I went in October. And
you went to the Stanley Hotel.
I went to Stanley when you showed me when you were in that section, like. And I was like, dude, this looks just exactly like the Stanley Hotel, like the exact same way, like with the stairs,
the lobby, and everything.
The lobby,
right?
Yep.
everything.
Yeah, it's so cool, dude. But okay, going back to my original question,
what was
with
it?
The prison.
Oh,
what did you guys think of the
overhaul?
That
I felt that was the most unsettling and.
Dude, that
scary.
shit was okay. So, like, when I talk about Silent Hill 2 original, I always bring up the point that when you reach the prison section, that's when Team Silent was like operating at their highest level. Like they feel like they're playing you. You're no longer the player, you know, because they use every fucking trick to scare the shit out of you, and it works for the original. I think they did the same thing too in the remake. Like Bloober Team, the fact that they made you keep going back outside. And you keep hearing the horse sounds around you and shit. That was so fucking unsettling, dude. That really got to me. Like, oh man, I have to keep going back out there.
Yeah.
And there's a puzzle that I have to keep doing and hearing all the audio. Like, dude, I don't know if you guys caught it, but so in the original, there's a cell that's occupied by an enemy. I think I told you this before. Like you don't see what the enemy is, but you can tell that it's like fucking tall because like James is looking up at it, and you keep shooting it and it reacts, but that's it. First off, have you guys encountered that in the original?
No, I don't.
So yeah,
I saw a video on it.
And you saw a video on it, okay?
And it has a human voice to it.
It has a human voice, yeah.
So it's not a monster.
And you don't necessarily know what it's saying.
Yeah.
I think it's confirmed that he's saying ritual.
Yeah, he's saying ritual.
That's in the remake.
Where?
So in
Yeah,
the
I didn't see
remake,
that.
when you go to the basement of the fucking prison,
Yeah.
and you're exploring it, there's a cell that has like all these ritual like writings, and you go in it and you hear something rumbling saying ritual, and you hear your controller vibrate too.
Yes. I remember that.
That's
yeah.
such a cool nod back to that original like creature.
Oh,
That's
You
cool.
hear it.
I missed that, man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like go back and play it, and you'll notice it when you go into the basement.
Yeah.
You walk in, and I think it only says it like once or twice, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like so fucking cool. Like that was to me as a fan, I was like, oh, they acknowledged that little thing from the original, you know.
Yeah.
Josh, what ending did you get?
The one that you're supposed to get, I thought everybody gets the same one at their first playthrough.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's pretty hard not to get the leave ending, which is
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
leave with
I'm not
Lauren.
gonna lie to you. I've watched all of them though on YouTube.
Me too.
As soon as I
Me too,
finished
yeah.
it, I was like, I gotta see everything else.
Yeah, I got the leave ending the first time. The second ending, I got the leave ending again. I was trying to get the Maria ending, but I guess I didn't fulfill the requirements. And then my third playthrough, I got the fucking rebirth ending somehow. And I think for the rebirth ending, you're supposed to just like, I don't know how you're supposed to get it, but I just got it.
Which one's that one? The rebirth.
That's when you take Mary across the lake to resurrect her.
You know, it's in one of those videos I was watching. It goes to the loop theory. It's because the ritual ending is that he probably messed up the ritual,
And so he has to redo it?
Yeah, he has to redo it again.
That's interesting.
So
That's interesting.
what you think about the new endings, Josh? Then
Dude, the one what's it called? The one where Mary's in the back of the car talking to him.
Oh, it's not called Bliss. It's something else. But
No, yeah.
Serenity, I think it's called.
Is it? I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Because there's one called Bliss, which is where James is in the. Where
hotel.
he gets in the. He basically
Yeah.
goes into the TV or whatever. And I think
Yeah.
Serenity is the one that Josh is talking about.
Yeah, that one, man, is my favorite.
I agree,
it-
dude.
It's just, oh man, it's so well done. Like everything on it, man. Like
And the voice acting and that.
the
was
voice acting and even the facial expressions
Yeah.
James does, man. Like, oh my god.
That's such a. That's like an extension to the In Water ending.
Yes.
It just feels
Yeah.
like a good expansion of that.
So do you guys think he actually drives into the water, or does
Yeah.
he just like take
No,
the,
I agree. And you're talking about for this particular ending,
Yeah.
yeah, I still think he does. I still think he goes through with it. I mean, I like how it ends with him looking at the letter, which kind of suggests that like, oh, should I pick up the letter and restart the loop, or should I drive off the fucking the cliff or whatever? I like how it just ends without you knowing if he's gonna restart or if he's gonna end it. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only time it rains too, if I remember correctly.
Oh, really?
In the daytime, because at night it does rain, but like it doesn't rain
During the day?
during the day. You know, but no, that was such a great ending. Serenity was, I think that's my favorite too. You know.
Yeah.
I also got the UFO ending and the dog ending just for shits and giggles. Because I mean, you have to, dude. Like
The dog one, man. The dog ending is
That
awesome.
one's really
Classic, bro.
it's a classic one, man. Yeah. I mean, what did you think of the other endings there?
Which other ones?
I guess just all of them in general.
I gotta look at them again.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I just like.
Oh, well, here's an interesting. Which one do you think is the canon ending?
In
your
Water.
opinion? In Water.
Mhm.
And you, Josh, what do you think?
I want to say Serenity, man. Like
That one's-
that's the one I like to live with, that, knowing that that's the one, man. It's like
Yeah.
it's those last words that Mary says
Mm-hmm.
to him, man. It just hits so hard.
Damn, dude. Yeah, that's a good one, man. If you were to put a score on it, we don't really do scores here, but what would you score this game?
10 out of 10.
Well, I mean, I know you give it a 10 out of 10 here, but you know.
It's very, very hard for me, but I think I would go with an 8 out of 10.
Damn. Okay. I mean, I don't have a problem with an 8 out of 10. I think your arguments for an 8 out of 10 make sense.
And here's my explanation, right? I'm not saying this game like sucks or it doesn't deserve a higher score, right? But you guys got to remember, Konami is starting to make games again, right?
Yeah.
And because their last one was Metal Gear Survive, right?
That was like their last like
and-
AAA. Yeah.
That was because they wanted to jump into the mobile games and all that
Cheapo
stuff to make
machines and
money.
shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so they're building their games from the ground up again, because it's been almost 10 years. And
Yeah.
like they had to contract somebody to like build their game. They got somebody great, right? Bluebird team killed it in this game. But I think they're going to do much better in the future, This is just
One will hope.
Told you.
I feel like, I mean, okay, so have either of you played the short message?
No, I've heard it's mid, but
It's not great. It's not fucking good, and it's made internally by Konami. And if I remember correctly, they're also going to be doing Silent Hill F internally also, and that one's like the one that everyone's really kind of keeping their eyes on because that one's like taking place in Japan,
right,
and all that kind of stuff. I'm a little skeptical because it's not Bluebird Team now. It's like it's the opposite. Before I was skeptical about Bluebird Team making 2, but because of how fucking good they crushed it, I don't see anyone else making Silent Hill games now. I told Edgar this too.
Well, they need to learn from Capcom, because Capcom's been killing it with Resident Evil. Because Resident Evil almost died after 6, man, and these guys did the same thing. They started from the ground up with 7. That's why 7 feels less like it doesn't feel like such a big game like 6 did,
like
right?
A blockbuster, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. And look at them now, man. Play Resident Evil 4, and they got the formula right,
Yeah, they did.
They did great with 2. They might have maybe fumbled 3 a little bit, but I still think 3's good.
I still think it's good too. I don't know if it's like on its own by itself it's good, but I think if you're playing it back to back with 2, you're not going to notice like the negatives, the shortcomings. If you're just playing 2 and 3 back to back. But you're right. I think they should learn from Capcom. But here's my question to you then, for you two. What's next for? Besides the ones that they've announced, if we're going to do another remake, what do you guys think they should remake for Silent Hill?
I think they got to start with 1, man. Because if they want to do 3, they have to do 1 first.
What do you think?
I don't know. It's weird. I think they're going to follow the same path as Resident Evil.
They're going to go 3?
3, yeah.
That's weird. I don't know if
really.
I agree.
I don't know. It'd be great to get a remake from the original.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It can go either way, right? It can go the first one or the third one. Yeah.
No, I agree. It's the one that I would like to do, or for them to do, is Silent Hill 4.
So see, you're jumping.
But I mean, Silent Hill 4 is its own thing.
I think 4 could be so terrifying, man.
Dude,
I actually started playing it recently, and the way they like their models for their enemies, the ones that I forgot what they're called, the ones that float around.
Yeah.
Dude,
yep.
That is just so unsettling.
The only thing about that is or about the original Silent Hill 4 is that the combat fucking sucks.
Yes.
There's certain mechanics that just completely feel half baked, but like everything surrounding it, the story, the fucking creature design, like everything else is fucking awesome. And so if they give it to Bluebird Team, they can almost just start start with from ground zero and just go all the way up and create their own thing. That's why I feel like it's a perfect fit for Bluebird Team. Like, they don't have to fuck with 1 or 3, which I know I like. That's still logically, I think the next step is probably 1.
Yeah.
But 4, give them 4. That's gonna be fucking amazing.
Do you think they're gonna do the same again, like Konami, like back to back? Like, let's say every 2 years you get a new Silent Hill, or
I hope so.
that'd be
Shit,
cool, right?
dude, the last good Silent Hill game we got was in 2004.
Yeah.
Been 20 years now.
Which is,
Yeah, 20 years.
It's Silent Hill 4.
Oh, not Downpour.
Oh, come on, are you serious? Are you being serious right
No,
now?
just joking. Speaking of that, I don't know if we talked about it. Leading up to the release of Silent Hill 2 Remake, I got a Homecoming.
It's fucking terrible.
It is terrible.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I got it was because I only played it once since it released, right?
Yeah.
So I barely like remember.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was playing it, dude, like that one's fucking horrible.
It's horrible, dude.
Yeah.
It
Like,
is
I couldn't
not
even
good.
I couldn't even finish it. It was so fucking bad.
No, don't play Homecoming.
Yeah.
I think if I could leave some people with a message today is don't fucking play Homecoming.
What
That game
about
is
Downpour?
terrible. Downpour.
No, man. Stop.
Look, now that we have Silent Hill 2
Uh-huh.
Remake, that's the definitive way to explore Silent Hill. Before,
Yep.
I would have said maybe play Downpour just to experience the town.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else, no. The music
Yeah.
fucking sucks. It feels like they're playing jazz. The fucking enemies suck. They always look like they're drunk and flailing. Like, it's just, everything about that game is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
but
I know.
if you're exploring it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you might get something, that's kind of
Silent
okay.
Hill, yeah.
Remotely to Silent Hill. We got Silent Hill 2 Remake now.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's it. But yeah, no. I think we've said everything we had to say about Silent Hill 2 Remake, dude.
So hold on, you guys don't think it deserved to be nominated Game of the Year?
I personally think
I
it should.
do. I do think
Yeah,
it should.
see?
I think it should get nominated, and I think it should win.
Mm-hmm.
I think its main competitor would be Final Fantasy VII. But I personally haven't played Rebirth. That's like the next one on my list, but I can imagine Rebirth is really good as well.
Rebirth is I mean, it's coming from a perspective of someone who hasn't played the original, so I can't say if it's better than like the original, but Rebirth is fucking amazing, man. Like the ending is just so fucking good.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think it should have been nominated for Game of the Year, but I guess it didn't. What do you guys think of the new voice actors for the characters?
Amazing.
Amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
there's no, I have no complaints, and I have no complaints about how they were written into the story for this one. Like
Yeah.
the way they portrayed, and every single character did phenomenal.
Besides James, is there one that like sticks out?
Crap, what's her name? Not Maria, the
Oh,
the
Angela.
other one, Angela. Her, dude.
Yeah,
I've
she
never
killed it, dude.
felt so sorry for somebody.
Yep.
Like for a video game character, dude. I've never felt so
too,
bad
man.
for a video game
She knocked
character.
it out of the park.
I think I said it in the our last one. Like in the original, yeah, it's implied that what she went through, but this one's in the like it's in your face, kind of. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
The way she acts, the way she talks, and especially when you go to that section of hers, it's like like I can see, like what Josh said, like you feel bad, like you feel, I don't know, like So
No, I agree.
And it like, and not just us, man, the entire community, man. I see memes all the time about people just wanting to hug her, saying like, oh man, I feel
Yeah,
so
dude,
bad
I know.
for this chick, man.
It sucks. I mean, yeah, but the voice actor fucking like knocked it out of the park, dude. She did such a
Absolutely.
great job. Abstract Daddy, one of the most terrifying fucking bosses in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Talk about a fucking perfect boss fight. Like the original was not great at all. It was just in the room, and you just had to like shoot it and then go across the other part of the room, shoot it. This one was like, they didn't have to go this hard, dude. Bloober Team fucking like, the fact that like, have you had it run at you?
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's fucking scary as fuck, man.
Yeah.
That shit scared me. When I noticed that it did that, I was like, ugh, no, I can't. I don't want to engage it in hand-to-hand combat. I gotta shoot it from a distance, man. Yeah, the Abstract Daddy was great. What other boss fights did you guys like?
Well, hold on.
Or-
Like Josh said, you know, it's not. I don't know what Josh said. Hold on, I'm trying to fucking make this right. Resident Evil 4 remake, you know, was even the original was like fucking #1 for me.
Mhm.
Just playing this just took the throne for me, man. He just like it took everything I loved from the original, added more into it.
Yeah.
The voice act, like everything about this fucking game was great for me.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's, to me, it's a good remake. You know, like yeah, fucking Resident Evil 4 remake had the throne these last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a year, yeah.
Yeah, a year or so. It's time for someone else to take, for me.
For you personally. Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Josh?
Look, I don't think Silent Hill is bad by any means, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like Resident Evil 4 just did everything well, man. Like everything from like the combat, the characters, like
I feel like
everything was,
man. Like they're just two different remakes, I think.
Okay.
You know?
It's different. It has different themes. I will say that.
Yeah.
But you can categorize both of them as survival horror, right? Yeah. And so if you were to tell people like where to start, right? I would probably tell people to start in Resident Evil 4 because it's easier to play that than I think Silent Hill. A lot of people wouldn't like start loving Silent Hill if they're not ready to see like the same enemies, more dialogue, it's more character development, more like a lot of,
it's definitely more psychological too,
yeah it's not for everybody to start, if that makes sense. Versus Resident Evil 4, it's you grab a gun and people are coming at you, man. Like that's defend yourself. You're John Wick.
I agree, dude. All right. Well, I think that's it for the Silent Hill 2 remake discussion.
Yeah.
But we're still going to talk about horror games and the state of horror games. This is the reason why we brought other Josh onto the podcast. But I mean, this was something you wanted to talk about, Josh. I mean, what?
Yeah.
Where do you want to start with this state of horror games?
I wanted to talk to you guys about this because we've been getting fed pretty well with titles these last few years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like the PS4 era really lacked in games that like for survival horror. I think the only ones we had really was Resident Evil 7 that stood out to me in that era.
Yeah, I mean, they're more like indie horror games came out during the PS4 era. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, most of them were on PC. People didn't have access to them.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like a lot of these AAA companies it's when people started looking to the microtransactions and battle passes, and it's like let's make online games. So we lost a lot of these single player games, but this generation of consoles has brought back what like gaming was for us back when we were younger.
Dude.
They're bringing back a lot of the types of games that like really helped us experience new worlds, and they've been doing a lot of new horror and remakes with all the Resident Evil games, Callisto, Silent Hill.
Callisto.
And from all the ones I've played, for the most part I've enjoyed all of them, like including even the Dead Space remake. I'm not gonna just shit all over it, right? I don't think it was bad, but I don't think it's on my list for the best ones that came out in this last decade.
Hold on,
all
Josh.
Right.
You're saying Callisto's better than
Yes.
Please don't. No,
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
I'm about to kick you off of the podcast. You're telling me Callisto Protocol is better than Dead Space Remake?
Yes.
All right,
yes.
let's get into it. This is gonna be the whole episode. I'm just telling you now.
It probably will be, honestly.
Okay. Why? I gotta hear why. Because
I get it. Look, it's like the conversation we had earlier, right? You got to understand. We have this guy who made this amazing title called Dead Space, right? And back in 06, I think it was when it came out. 06, 07, I can't remember.
Dead Space 1?
Yeah,
2008.
2000.
Yeah.
See, okay. So he made Dead Space 1, and it was amazing, right?
Yep.
We've never seen something like that before. It was The Thing and Resident Evil together. That's how I best describe it, right?
Yep.
And it was so good that we had 2 more sequels, right? But here's the thing, right? The first one, I had such an experience with it because it really felt like I was fighting for my life in that original. Dude, when I played the remake, I went through that. I flew through that game, man. Like, it was like muscle memory. I knew what was going to happen, even the things that weren't like the original.
But does that make it a bad remake, though?
So here's the thing, right? I think there's a lot of things that I think they didn't do well on. So
in the remake,
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, you're talking about like things they didn't do well in the remake.
Yes.
Okay.
In the remake.
Okay. All right. Continue.
I personally felt like some of the controls felt a little clunky versus the old one.
Oh man, I disagree.
I don't know.
Dude, buttery smooth, man.
Really?
Buttery smooth.
I found myself coming to some like funny glitches throughout the game. I don't know if it was just me, but the original, at least 1 and 2, the movement and everything felt so much more natural. Like if you were to compare the way he does melee attacks and kicks, it looks a bit more natural on the originals than the new ones.
Oh, dude, I disagree, man.
Really?
I completely... In the original, it felt very fucking stiff. It felt like every time you wanted to, like, stomp on something, you had to wait, like, 5 seconds for Isaac to readjust.
Yes. So, the first one, yes. But I didn't like... I mean, I wasn't against that. I always thought he did that because the suit was heavy. I mean, after the second one, it kind of just takes that away because that's when he just starts.
He was beefing up, dude. All those stomping got his fucking leg work. Yeah,
those squats, man.
Dude,
but
okay, no, keep going because I'm interested. I'm interested in
why.
hearing.
Yeah. So that's one of my problems, right? But here's the biggest one I had, and it's something that a lot of people praise that I actually didn't like. It's the new model of Isaac. I had no issue with them using the voice actor for the model, but there was one thing that like really made me like stood out to me in the first one when I first finished it, and he takes off his helmet, and you look at this guy and you're like, damn, this guy went through some shit, you know, like this guy has not slept. This guy looks like he just went through what you just went through in the game, you know? Versus in the remake, when he takes off his helmet a lot more times, which is fine. I had no issue with that.
Right.
The problem is he looks robotic as hell. He
kind of looks like Adam Sandler. Look, it's fine.
Say Mark Zuckerberg, dude.
He looks like Adam Sandler to me, but that's fine, dude. I mean, Happy Gilmore. I'm just look. I completely disagree. I think he looks like he's also gone through some shit in this game by the end of it. Like, I feel like they portrayed the emotion just as well in the remake like they did in the original, I think.
Yeah.
You were talking about how you like sped through it. Like, to me, it felt like such a huge expansion to the original, because you're like, in the original you go into the tram, you go into a different level, and this one it's all fucking interconnected. It's no longer going into the tram anymore. Like, you're going into the fucking back alleys of this, like the Ishimura, and you're getting lost again. Like
Yeah.
it feels like you're re-exploring it again. It almost feels like there's shit here that was here before, and it feels like it could have been in the original, and it's in the remake. Like all of that felt so much more fucking interconnected than the original, dude. In my opinion, that's what made it so much more suspenseful. You know?
Yeah.
Like could I breeze through it? Probably. Yeah, like I agree. Like I think we all know where the enemies are coming from and stuff like that, but they just nailed it so much. Especially if you're comparing it to Callisto, they did it so much more fucking better than Callisto, dude. Callisto
I don't know, man.
doesn't hold a fucking candle. I'm sorry, I like it too, but it doesn't hold a candle to Dead Space.
No, I get it. I get it because I do agree that like Callisto was less it was less set up for all the action sequences, all the fights, you know, as Dead Space was. But there's one reason why I think Callisto is better. It's just like it's new, it's refreshing, right? It's something. It's brutal, man. That's the thing I liked about Callisto.
It's
like
brutally mediocre, Josh. It's
no,
brutally
man.
mediocre.
No, man. Look. It's like I was talking about it the other day or earlier. Your Callisto's getting built from the ground up, right? Mm-hmm. Like Dead Space Remake was technically, you can say, built from the ground up too, but they had all the assets, they had all the designs, they knew what to do with the story.
Yeah.
Callisto had to get like they had to start from scratch. And where I was going with this is that, you know, EA took Dead Space away from this guy that made Callisto. Mm-hmm. You know, and then EA took it away from him and said, we don't need this anymore, and we're gonna throw away your company. And this guy's like, oh man, like, you know, I want to continue doing this survival horror stuff, but I lost my Dead Space, you know, so gotta do something.
I gotta do something with PUBG, dude. Like that's because that was originally what it was gonna be, was in the PUBG universe, and then they saw the remake of Dead Space and they fucking course corrected to make Callisto Protocol.
I don't think that was his fault. I think it was more.
I don't think so.
Like the PUBG guys that were like, all right, we do gotta compete with this guy. We gotta, but this guy just wants to feed like his like fans, you know, like from what we haven't had in years.
Oh
and
man,
I know Callisto had a lot of problems when it started, right? But I think it built such a strong foundation to do something so much better than Dead Space.
Yeah.
Than if they were to continue doing Dead Space 2 remake, Dead Space 3, and so forth, right? Because Callisto was just so much more gruesome, much more disgusting. Like it's more.
Oh, man.
It did such a, you know, Dead Space was inspired by aliens, man. Like, and you know how the movie Aliens are, like disgusting. You know, like with eggs and the face huggers, and it's a lot of body horror. And these guys did such a good job, man. Like,
but Josh, okay, I'm gonna have to kind of put you down here for a second, Josh. But you said in the Silent Hill 2 remake that you didn't like that there was more enemies. But Callisto Protocol literally only has like 2 fucking enemies, man.
Yeah, no, and you're right.
What's changed, dude? Like, you know?
No, you're right. I do think Silent Hill is much better than Callisto, right? By a margin. But here's the thing, right? The Dead Space remake didn't really introduce any new enemies, did it?
No, I'll give you that. No, it didn't.
So, Callisto, although it had very little enemies, I thought they were actually really well designed. Now, I'm not saying like there was a lot, like they were well designed in like how they look like, right? It was they looked much more like a mutated human, you know, like a more disgusting human. But the fall that Callisto had was its combat. It was very, very, very.
I mean, among other things, dude, because I think the Callisto Protocol was super fucking linear, also.
It was,
super
but that's the
linear.
thing. You gotta remember when you have a new game, right?
Yeah.
you can't expect them to throw so much new stuff at you that you haven't seen from other games. These guys are given a set budget, and they have
Yeah.
to do as much as possible to set budget. And so, Dead Space had a lot of things that like saved them money. Like they already had people to like. They just had to copy and paste the story, basically, man.
Man, I mean,
and
I can definitely see how the budget was probably an issue. With
and
Callisto.
so, but you got to think about it. Imagine they got more support. Imagine they had more. They had a bigger budget to make the game a lot bigger, make more
Dead
enemies.
Space?
The Callisto.
No, Callisto.
Yeah.
Because like, the director wanted to keep the suits thing, man. Like, but he didn't have enough money to let you upgrade your suit into something new because he didn't have the money to design a new suit.
Yeah.
That's why they have reskins. If you see the DLC, they all look the same. They're just colored in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I mean,
and
but it also feels like how the original Dead Space. The only thing different about the suits was just the fact that it gives you more inventory space and health, right? Like other than that, it's just
it added more plates on your armor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
In this remake, there are quite a few new armors that I hadn't seen in the original one.
That's awesome. I think.
Yeah, I thought that was great, but I'm more like trying to defend Callisto because I don't think it's fair to judge it so hard when it's their first attempt to do a horror game because it's a company that's only done a freaking what are they called?
I think it's the only one they made, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, yeah, because all they do is PUBG. They're known for PUBG, and then they give this money to get this guy. And dude, you cannot deny it. Their engine is amazing.
Oh, well, you can agree on that. That shit looks fucking beautiful.
And it looks so much better than Dead Space.
No, no, you're right. You're right.
You got to think about it. The detail on every single enemy looks so much better than the enemies on Dead Space.
But I think to Dead Space defense, the fact that there's the what do they call it? They had a name for it where you can rip off
rip the flesh,
rip off the layers of the fucking necromorphs, necromorphs, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucking that was such an original idea. Like that made up for the fact that there wasn't that many new enemies. Like the fact that you could just deglove the whole fucking creature made it more gruesome than Callisto, in my opinion.
I don't know if it would have made it more gruesome, man, because the deaths you have in Callisto are much worse. Like, the way this guy screams, what's his name? Josh
Jacob.
No,
the actor.
Oh, about the actor.
I forgot his
Josh Hart, something, right?
Josh, something, yeah.
His screams, dude, he really makes it sound like this guy is in pain, bro.
I didn't like how you couldn't delimb enemies, though, dude. That's
all right. Let me say something here.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
You've been quiet this whole time.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Shit.
Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, then
hold on. Look, I'm not a big fan of either or.
You don't like Dead Space Remake?
Yeah, I do, but I'm not a big fan of you and Josh, like how you are,
You don't like us as people, or
no? But honestly, I despise fucking Callisto.
Despise it?
Yeah.
Really?
Jesus.
That's a strong word.
I know. Despise is a strong word. I mean, I said it's brutally mediocre. That was the words I used.
Well, Josh, did you play when it first released or no?
Yes, dude. I went through the hardest difficulty, and when it was the glitchiest.
Yeah. I think we talked about it. I remember that.
Yeah.
Okay. But I remember it was if you played it from day one, everything was so stiff. Healing yourself took
slow.
forever.
Yeah.
A lot of shit was going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
The thing that threw me off, the main part was the combat. That was it. It just threw me off. It didn't do it for me.
Yeah.
And when I played the DLC not that long ago, it was just the same thing. I thought they improved a lot.
Well, I will say, dude, you jumped from having played it when it originally came out straight to the DLC. I feel like you should have replayed it again.
Oh, you mean the main story?
And then lead up to the DLC. Because
Okay.
I will agree, my last playthrough of Callisto was better.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it more. But it just the same problems that I had with it continue to crop up, which was like. Again, going
Damn,
back to
I feel like I'm being harsh now. Okay, I should give it another shot.
Maybe you should.
You should.
Yeah.
You
say you fucking despise it. Like, shit.
Well,
that shocked me too. I'm like, okay, dude.
Okay, sorry guys, hold on. I don't like it. Okay.
Yeah.
But I have to agree. That shit looks fucking.
No,
great.
it does. I'm
even
not,
like the sweat and like everything,
Yeah.
like so very detailed, right?
Yeah.
What I was gonna say, like the main. You want to say director or writer?
Yeah, I know his name is something Schofield. I forget his first name.
Yeah.
This Callisto was his story for the original Dead Space. This is you know, right? So I was kind of curious, like what happened then? Yeah, you can say studio interference and all that, but why didn't he take helm and like really put all of his?
It's kind of what I'm saying, dude.
You know?
We're talking about the original director of Dead Space.
Yeah,
and
and
like the only tricks up his sleeves were basic fucking jump scares, man. If I remember correctly, he promised some things that weren't in the fucking game. Like he said that the enemies are gonna go through the vents and they're gonna track you down and blah blah this and that. Like,
I mean, they do track you down,
but it's so elementary. It doesn't feel. That's why I feel like with Dead Space, that feels a lot more dynamic. Because sometimes you'll enter a room that you've been in before and the fucking lights are off. Or you'll enter a room and then like the vent is broken and you're like that wasn't open before. What the fuck? Like they fucks with you. In Callisto, there's none of that.
Oh, okay. Look,
You know?
I retract what I said.
You despise it again.
No.
Oh, okay.
I dislike it. Okay, but at the same time, I am curious of where the story would go. But the thing is, I don't think we're gonna get it.
I think we can.
I think we can. Yeah.
They've been acquired by, it's the other way around. They acquired Tango GameWorks, the company that has Striking Distance, which is the developers who did Callisto Protocol, also acquired Tango GameWorks. So if they're willing to acquire them, maybe they'll give funds to Striking Distance and give them. But Schofield is no longer there.
I heard he was
he departed. Not dead, sorry, but he's gone.
I don't know. I heard he was a dick to work with.
I don't know. We're not here to
why he
talk
left.
about who he is as a
But
person.
you need him to like continue the story. That's the thing, right?
Do you though?
I don't think so.
No,
because this.
I mean, it kind of ends if you've played the DLC. Spoiler alert, right? Like at least you end the protagonist's story. And and the DLC, so you can do a lot with a new character, or you can just follow. I forget her name, the other character that survives.
I forget her name also, but yeah.
But I don't think you need him.
Okay.
See,
I feel like he set the groundwork. Then people can like work.
Definitely. Because here's what I'm gonna say: is that even though I'm not a fan of the first one, because you look at Callisto Protocol, it sounds very similar to another director who left the company and went and did his own thing and did a horror game that harkened back to the games he used to do. You know who I'm talking about?
Hideo Kojima?
No. Josh, do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Shinji Mikami.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Left
that's right.
Capcom. He went and did Tango GameWorks, created that company, and did The Evil Within.
Yeah,
that was what his passion project. The first one was mediocre, also not really well received. It's kind of mixed. It has a cult following, but the second one is where they fucking knocked it out of the park.
Oh,
Callisto Protocol 2, I feel like could definitely be
the same thing,
like the same fucking thing.
Exactly, and see that's my thing, right? Like that's why I praise Callisto so much for trying something new.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Like, and you gotta admit, their combat system is very, very similar to Silent Hill.
It is
the remake.
It is,
and so.
But I think Silent Hill 2 does it.
Absolutely, better. No, absolutely.
But, which is, I just want to point out, which is fucking crazy, considering Bloober Team never made fucking combat before.
No,
and they've
only
great.
done like Layers of Fear, which is like a walking simulator, haunted house.
So that to me is crazy. But anyways, going back to Callisto Protocol, the combat. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like they only have things to work to make better, like
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna learn from its competitors, Resident Evil. Now Silent Hill set high expectations for me, to be
Mm.
honest, for these type of games and
Yeah.
the story, and they did such a good job in their combat system because, like you guys said in your last podcast,
Yeah.
I was so afraid when I saw these trailers, man. Yeah, I was like, crap, we're gonna get another Callisto Protocol like
Yeah. Yeah.
nightmare at the start.
Mm-hmm.
But they pulled through, man. And I
They did.
think if the Callisto guys just learn from these guys, uh,
Bloober team.
Bluebird
Yeah.
team, they're gonna get it right, man. And
Yeah.
they're gonna do better than Dead Space. And that's why I think it's better than Dead Space, because Dead Space didn't do anything new. It felt, yes, you got to travel around, find a couple new things, but here's the thing, Albert.
Yeah.
I did all the side missions.
Uh-huh.
I went through the whole story.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I finished the game, I was like, okay, I remember like 50% of this game. Like
Okay. Okay. I mean, I remember 0%. No, I was kidding. I do remember Callisto Protocol also, but I mean, yeah, I
Look, I give it this for Callisto. It had some scary moments in the game.
name one, dude.
When-
Name one.
When
You're trying real hard right now.
I know the section. It's just hard to explain it. Is when you enter this big room, right? And I think you have to turn on the electricity or some fans, and you have to wait until the
Yeah, but
generator
is that really terrifying? When you can just like telekinesis all your fucking enemies.
yeah. No, I think one of the things that was well done, but you don't get it often, is when you hear them through the vents.
Yeah.
There were moments, because I played in the hardest difficulty, so there were moments where I was really low on ammo. Like I was like, crap, I gotta use this damn sword thing,
Yeah.
And
the
so
baton.
baton, yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to save ammo and trying to run away because I didn't have health. And I'm like just running through rooms, and then you just hear the really loud like stomping and like sounds through the vents that they're coming fast after you. Because that's the thing I liked about them. They're really fast. And like you can, if you guys have headphones, you can hear them like crawling up top from you and just getting into that one vent. That was really cool.
I just feel like they run fast at you until they're right in front of you, and then they stop. And then it's like a game of fucking,
But it's the same thing as Silent Hill. That's the same thing as Silent Hill, man.
Yeah, but Silent Hill, I think that the enemies, they fucking fight back. They also dodge your attacks.
So did Callisto.
But in Callisto, it didn't feel. How can I explain it? You said that they're like humanoid like creatures. They all look like kind of mutated and shit. Can you, like, the fact that the mannequin legs fucking dodged your attack? That was like, what the fuck? I didn't expect that at all. Or like the lion figure, like when they're slithering on the ground and it like fucking nose dives up towards you. Like that shit was, you don't see that kind of variety with the enemies in Callisto. They kind of just block, move, and that's it. And Silent Hill, like the fucking nurse can fucking parry your shit almost, like they grab your pipe and throw it back at you. Like that's fucking cool. I don't know.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think it would have been better if they made the and Callisto made the enemies rabid, like where
they should have turned it up to 11, dude.
Yeah, where they don't give a shit if like you like rip their arm off. They're still trying to like bite you, or eat you.
That's why I like the enemy, like when they mutate quicker and you have to like dispatch them before they. Yeah. That was a cool idea.
Yeah.
But once you've played it through multiple times on New Game Plus, like they're not even an issue anymore.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Yeah, you're right, Josh. I feel like if they make a sequel, they're definitely. If they fail the fucking sequel, you can't defend them anymore, Josh.
No, absolutely not.
They get one more chance, I think.
I agree. But that's the reason why I think Callisto's higher on my scale, because it's not the perfect game by any means, right?
It was something new, right?
Yeah.
But it gave us something new, man. That like Dead Space couldn't do. It failed. It really did, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Can I finish my argument?
Whoa. God, Jesus, man. What, John? I feel like he's just chomping at the bit again, dude. He just wants to... I'm sorry, other Josh. I don't know why he's on here, but okay. So
see you guys talking about this shit.
Yeah,
it makes you want to
go play it
and despise it again. I'm just kidding.
Despise it?
No, hey, look, I have to give it another shot.
Then I have to give credit to Josh. If Josh convinced you to go try it again, then Josh, you probably won this argument. If you manage to convince Heather to go try it again,
because here I was gonna say another hate word.
You're gonna say despise it again.
I didn't like it. I was I was expecting a lot. There was so much hype leading up to this game.
Yeah.
Like you said, the videos you would show me, like the creator talking about how, it's gonna be so brutal. It's gonna be this and da right?
Yeah.
And I didn't see that. You expected everything he said, but even leading up to the release, they took out some kills, right?
Yeah,
and
they locked it behind.
Yeah,
they
locked it. Yeah. So
that kind of sucks. Yeah,
a lot of that's probably where I came from. Like this,
you were bitter.
I was bitter. Yeah.
And that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, it comes from a reasonable place.
Mm-hmm.
It's their marketing that failed. Because if you look at the Silent Hill trailers, none of them try to hype this game up. Basically the trailers just set the tone for this game, and they're like, play it. That's it,
you're right. Yeah,
but I think for Callisto, they really went far to jump in and talk about their development and all that, and just really build up the expectations, which
they
sucked.
did. Yeah.
But it's like I say, man. If you go there with less expectations, you'll probably appreciate more what he tried to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. It's definitely for some people a diamond in the rough.
Yeah,
as they say, it definitely has a following. I would say it's definitely worth trying out now. I think even as we're recording, it's probably on sale with the Black Friday deals. It's probably worth picking up right now for sure.
Absolutely.
So, well, let's continue talking about the state of horror games. I guess we talked about Dead Space. We talked about Callisto Protocol. Another big survival horror game that was nominated for Game of the Year, Alan Wake 2. Have you played Alan Wake 2, Josh?
No, man, and that's actually on my list. That's the only one I have not gotten.
You have to get to it, dude.
Yeah,
that is. And so last year, obviously, Resident Evil 4 came out. That was my Game of the Year. And then I played Alan Wake 2, and that shit, changed my mind. I was on the Alan Wake 2 camp.
So you would say it's better than Resident Evil 4?
Oh, goddamn. That's a good question. Yes and no. I think they're both very different. Resident Evil 4 Remake is definitely more action forward.
Right.
Alan Wake 2, though, it drips with really well art direction. The narrative is so much more competent than Resident Evil 4 Remake. Mm-hmm. The characters are really fucking well written. Sam Lake did a fucking fantastic job. I think even it looks better than Resident Evil 4 in some spots.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
So I mean, but I don't know. They're both different remakes. That doesn't sound like the boring answer.
But Alan Wake 2 is not a remake.
Sorry, yeah, no. So they're both different survival horror games.
I'll say Alan is more psychological.
It's definitely more psychological. But god damn, dude, once you play it and you see the labor of love that went into this game, from the musical score that's in the game, from the writing, the graffitis that are on the wall, that it feels so blatant, the message that they're putting in front of you, and then switching to Saga, switching to Alan, it's just so fucking well done. Is it my only complaint is probably is a little too long. I think it takes upwards to 20 hours maybe.
Oh wow! Is it like a linear game?
Yeah, kind of. There's some areas where you could explore, but once it
Okay.
gets down to it and you're like actually trying to complete objectives, it kind of narrows in scope and it becomes more linear. But
Okay.
yeah, that's the only thing is that I think for some people it's gonna feel like a slow burn. Would you
Yeah.
agree? Would you agree, Eder?
In the beginning, yeah, it's really slow to start. But like I said, once you do that first section, and when a little spoiler, Alan comes out of the lake,
Yeah.
that's when it starts to pick up.
Oh, it definitely starts to pick up.
But
Yeah.
at
And
first,
see,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say that was the problem I had with Control. When I played Control, I couldn't get past like 2 or 3 hours of it because it felt so slow to me.
No, yeah, I get it. Yeah,
I just couldn't pick it up. I I I feel like Alan Wake's gonna be different for me because it definitely hits more survival horror than Control did.
oh yeah.
But and the thing that sells me, man, is the way he uses like actual video, like, or like they recorded real people, right? And
Yeah.
cutscenes.
Yeah. It's like
That's
real cutscenes. Yeah.
I love that. You don't see that enough, and it really sets different tones if you don't
Yeah.
do it right.
I think like Sam Lake is similar to Hideo Kojima in that way, where they're just like, they gave them all the fucking money in the world, and they're just like, go fucking nuts, dude. Like,
Yeah.
go creative as you want. There's a whole short film in this game that you can sit and watch through a fucking projector, and it's like actually well shot, well made, and it doesn't eat up too much of your time. I think it's like maybe 7 minutes. Like the fact that there's little details like that included in the game, on top of an original soundtrack written for the game, the fact that there's like dialogue for almost every NPC, yeah, you're gonna take about 20 hours on your first playthrough, you know. But it's all dependent on if it hooks you. If it doesn't,
Right.
No,
You know?
let's say the first section's like let's say maybe like 2 to 3 hours. But like I said, right after, again, he he gets out of the fucking lake.
Yeah.
That's when it starts to pick up, like
yeah,
fucking,
it starts to pick up for sure. Yep.
and it gets you right away after that. Dude, you know one thing that spoiled it for me was, it was all over TikTok and the internet, is the fucking musical,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You know about that, Josh, or no?
No.
Oh, fuck.
But go ahead and talk. No, go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, there's a musical a section in the game,
Uh-huh.
and I saw it because fucking people fucking share everything.
Yeah.
But when I got to that part, it still
Oh
surprising.
my god, yeah.
It was so fucking
yeah,
cool.
don't give too
No.
much away if Josh is gonna play it. Like it's, oh dude, it's such a fucking. I was replaying through that, and I was like, yeah.
And it's
no, this
weird
is
because
fucking
it's
cool.
again, it's a psychological horror, but then it takes this fucking weird turn with the musical.
That's
and
Sam
it's-
Lake though,
yeah.
man. I feel like in a lot of his games, there's always this like a moment that kind of takes you out of it. And I was like, oh shit, this is kind of weird, but in a good way, you know. But yeah, Josh, if you haven't played Alan Lake 2, man, you gotta get on
I mean,
it.
it's definitely on my list.
know?
That's I've been bothering Edgar about it too. We've talked about it. That's the only
Okay.
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
one I'm missing, man. Like,
Yeah, that's a
But-
good one, and all the DLC's out now, so you know you can play that too. The DLC is fucking good.
yeah.
I don't want to get into it, but yeah.
Were you gonna say?
No,
Josh?
go ahead. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You were
No,
saying-
no, I I literally don't want to
Okay.
spoil it. But
Oh.
no, you go.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, if you guys are gonna make me play this game, I gotta give you guys homework too.
Okay.
Even though
Yeah.
this game is super old, you both need to play Cry of Fear.
Oh yeah. Edgar's
It's-
not too familiar with it, but I definitely am. Yeah.
Well, which one of you two are bigger on Silent Hill?
Oh, me definitely.
yeah.
Okay, you'll really appreciate this game, man. Like,
Okay.
you trust me. It's a first-person game.
Uh-huh.
Just if you have you don't need a powerful laptop or a computer to play this game.
Okay, that was
It's
gonna be my
pretty old.
question. So yeah.
Yeah, but I highly recommend you guys jump on this game, and it's pretty interesting how they made it. It's for one, it's free. So if you get on Steam, you can just download it for free.
Do you need a Half-Life 2 or anything?
Nope.
Oh, it's its own
standalone
thing.
game.
It's its own thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it started out as a mod, but it just became its own thing, and it's being like, it's on the Steam store for free. You can just download it. Cry Fear, man. Like you guys need to try it out. It's unfortunate it's not people with only consoles can't access it, man.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a die-hard horror fan, you should not go without playing this game.
Okay.
It has very heavy themes, just like Silent Hill 2.
Right.
And it's a pretty mature story as well.
See, my only exposure to that game, and this is gonna sound like kind of funny, was I watched PewDiePie play it. All those years ago. That was my only exposure to that game.
Yeah.
And then later on, when I did my own research on it, Josh is right. I was like, it was a lot more darker than I anticipated it was gonna be.
Yeah.
But anyways, go ahead, Josh.
No, you're good. I think they do such a good job in the sound design, the enemy design.
Yeah.
It's gonna look old, right, when you guys play it, but you have to really appreciate how creepy this game is and how well they did.
Oh, dude, from the from the screenshots I've seen, it does look fucking unsettling, man.
Dude, I was in when I was playing this game, I was in Poland and I was living with 3 other dudes in a room. And these 3 dudes are just chilling there, on their phones, talking to their wives or whatever. And so I have people around me, and I still had moments where I was like, I do not want to go in that room, or I'm too scared to do this. There was a few moments where I had to turn this game off because I was like, all right, yeah. Okay. So I would play it in the dark, obviously, but I still had people around me, and I was like, all right, this is really crazy.
I think that's a good mark of a good horror game, is if you're playing it and there's people around and you still feel like that's not enough protection or something. Like that's
yeah.
Damn, dude. Okay.
I think a lot of it has to do with their sound design, man. The sound design on their enemies is just so you'll laugh sometimes because it's just kind of funny sometimes. You'll have this one that just like you'll just hear it breathe, right? It just goes like that.
Shit, dude.
And you'll just hear it from far away coming towards you. You'll just hear that noise and you're like, fuck, where is it coming from?
Oh shit. Okay. No, I love that shit. Especially audio design that does that really well. I'm all for it, dude. I'm gonna try to see if I can play it on the fucking laptop that I have. I don't know if it's gonna be able to run it, but I mean, I'll give it a shot, dude.
Give it a shot, man. And I was gonna say, if you guys had a second laptop, this game, most of the game is like a single player experience.
Yeah.
But there is a portion that continues after the game ends. There's a second part to it that you can only play cooperatively.
Okay.
You like in the main game you play as a guy that's going through some stuff, but then you play as you can play up to 4 people, I think, and you play as cops going through the same.
Okay.
If you guys have the chance to play it together, I highly recommend it. I don't recommend it if you guys play with people outside of your internet, because it doesn't have any servers or anything like that. So you would need one person to host it, and it's going to be going to be super laggy. So, but if you're in the same house, man, I highly recommend you two just go through that second part together, because it's pretty freaking good.
All right. Damn, man, you sold me. I mean, I was already kind of halfway sold on it, but yeah, no, I think I might have to try this one.
It feels like we tore towards you, like your type of horror.
Geared towards me. Yeah.
You know what? Another horror game I played.
What was it?
Hi-Fi Rush.
That's not a horror game, bitch. You almost had me going there. I thought you were actually going to recommend.
Yeah, me too.
Horror game.
Honestly, guys, I haven't played a lot of fucking horror games. I just play the main titles like Resident Evil and all that.
Like Silent Hill and everything. Which
I still want to play Visage. I still want to play.
Have you played Visage, Josh?
No.
Oh, que la chinga.
Damn, dude.
I know, dude. I'm slacking.
I'm gonna have to get onto Visage in a second, but go ahead.
The one he played this year, something about the sea or something.
Oh, Still Wakes the Deep.
Yeah.
Have you also played that, Josh?
I've heard of it. I haven't played that one yet.
Thank you for reminding me. That one's fucking good, dude.
Well, the one I'm waiting for, and you probably know the title of it. and it's supposed to come out this year, supposedly, but it's already almost the end of the year. It's that fucking puppet game with the
Poppy?
no, the other one. Remember how it's like a
it's like Sesame Street.
Sesame Street?
Welcome to the Neighborhood or something.
something like that.
Oh yeah, I have heard of that one. I think
That one, I'm curious because of how ridiculous it looks.
It looks fucking cool.
Well, it looks
man.
fun.
It looks It looks cool. Yeah.
Another one is a fuck. I forgot the title. It's kind of like the same tone as the old school Resident Evil games. Kind of like Tormented Souls.
Is it Crow Country?
No, the other one.
Oh, no. Tormented Souls.
No, it's another. For fuck's sake, guys.
But I thought those were the two ones that you're talking about.
There's it came out on PC at first earlier this year. Hold on.
All right,
keep talking.
While you're doing that, then,
yeah.
Dude, thank you for bringing up Steel Wakes Deep. That's a good fucking game. I recommend playing that one too. That one's a short, like 4 hours, but the voice acting is really well done. The enemy design, it feels straight out of The Thing, dude. If you love The Thing, play this game. Like, it's fucking good. It's really good. And
it sounds like my lane, honestly.
Yeah. And then Crow Country, which I also played this year.
Dude, that's another one on my list that I really want to play.
That one's such a fucking vibe, dude. The atmosphere alone is so fucking good. Like, had it not been for Silent Hill 2 remake, that would have been like my favorite survival horror game of the year. Like, it's so fucking good. Crow Country, I don't think it gets enough appreciation, dude. It's such
I agree.
It's such a good game. But touching on Visage though, there's a difference between like survival horror and then straight up horror. I think Visage is my favorite horror game just of all time. That probably sounds like high praise, but it's definitely fucking like worth it. Such an oppressive mood. I think we did an episode on it where I talked about it in depth, but like that game, if you really enjoyed PT, Visage carries that candle. Like, it does such a good fucking job at scaring the fuck out of you. It has nothing in like the puzzle, not great. It's more of a walking simulator, but the developers fucking nailed it, dude.
You're skipping through something, Art.
What?
You were taking little pauses because you were a little.
Yeah, I was a little bitch, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Okay, I fucking paused this game like hundreds of fucking times. You would too. You will too, bitch. Once you play it, you will too. I can't fucking play that game by myself. That one's fucking terrifying, especially when you play as the old lady, like or play like in that section.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know.
I found it. It's called Echoes of the Living.
Echoes of the Living.
It has that same classic Resident Evil like.
I haven't heard of that, dude.
What's it called?
Like fixed camera,
yeah,
tank controls.
Like, it has that same tone as Tormented Souls, but this one's like takes it a little bit.
Oh wow!
Seriously,
I'm looking through that one right now, Edgar.
Which one?
It does look Echoes of the Living.
Oh yeah,
it does look.
See,
looks like the RE1 remake.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Is it supposed to come out this year?
I think it came out already on PC. I'm not sure.
So Josh could probably play this one.
But
I'm telling you guys, man, you guys gotta jump in on PC, man. There's some really good titles that you guys are missing out on.
I kind of want to get a Steam Deck. Do you think you'd recommend a Steam Deck?
I think it's a good start. I think you're still limited on what you can do with a Steam Deck. I've been seeing that there's a whole like tab in Steam that is only for the Steam Deck. So it sounds like to me that not all the games are going to be available on the Steam Deck.
Okay.
Okay.
That's something you gotta watch out for.
Okay.
But I'm telling you guys, man, like it's just like I'm much bigger on survival horror games like Dead Space and Callisto and Resident Evil and so forth, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of like good just horror games on here, and even like the ones that you see that become viral, like Lethal Company. Still are great, man. That you guys are missing out on.
Have you tried Phasmophobia?
Yes.
Okay. I know that's probably a good.
It's
good
on
time
PS5. We can jump on that.
Yeah.
Are you guys on it?
No, but I mean, look, if you're gonna pick it up and we get a whole squad, we'll play it on PS5.
Listen, man. I have it on my computer. It has crossplay. If
Oh,
you
shit,
guys
okay.
want to do even to record like us playing,
Dude.
I'm all for it because
That'd be great.
the best
be
thing
great.
about those games is close proximity chat. So
Yeah, it's like real
if you,
time, kind of
yeah,
like yeah. I hear about that. Yep.
that's what makes these games so good and still scary when you're playing cooperatively. Same thing with Lethal Company. Like Lethal Company is a little bit more unforgiving
Yeah.
because in Phasmophobia you can actually radio in one of your friends at any point in time. Versus Lethal Company, you have to buy a radio to be able to talk to your friends if you guys are away from each other.
Oh, damn.
And
Yeah.
I love the idea of like on both games where like it's very good to separate from each other to get more out of the run that you're doing. Like
Yeah.
either if on Phasmophobia trying to find the ghost in the house or Lethal Company finding all that trash to sell.
Mm-hmm.
It's great that they try to make you guys separate from each other and then utilize that proximity chat for a better experience. Because
Yeah.
Lethal Company has been one of the funniest and scariest experiences I've had in like the last few years, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, because it's hilarious. It gets really funny and it gets really scary real quick. Because you'll see one of your friends like screaming and saying, "Oh God, he's right after me," and then you'll
Yeah.
just hear them like their audio cut out, and
Oh
you're like, "Oh
shit.
shit!" Like I'm the only one left, like,
There's
and
few
it's
games that can do that. Though. That's kind of
yeah,
cool. That's really cool.
yeah. So
All right.
Phasmophobia and Lethal Company do such a good job on that.
Yeah, it's rare that you see cooperative horror games that come out in this day and age, dude.
Yeah.
It's so that's kind of a good recommendation. It was along with Cry of Fear,
Yeah.
But I guess to round out this conversation, what are some horror games that you're looking forward to? I know you brought up Echoes of the Living, but Josh, are there anything that you're on the horizon that you're looking forward to, or?
Yes, bro. There's one game I had. It's actually announced for PlayStation and all the consoles and PC. It's called Subliminal. Have you guys seen it?
Subliminal.
So
I
it's
don't think I have.
it's inspired by the whole like backrooms like thing. You
Oh,
get
okay, okay.
okay. But this one takes place in a playhouse and like a McDonald's playhouse. And the only reason why it sells me so much, and maybe you guys can relate to this because you guys grew up in a time when you guys saw this. You guys remember McDonald's? There was a
Yeah, I mean,
they used
McDonald's
to
is
have
still
like
around, Judge. What are you talking-
back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in the day. Okay.
Yeah.
You guys remember when they had like a tree that had a face?
Mhm.
Do you guys remember that?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
I don't
about.
think
Yeah,
I-
yeah,
I
yeah.
Okay.
don't think I do.
So I have a really bad experience with one of those because when I was going into my kindergarten class for the first time, they had one in the classroom,
Yeah.
and it terrified me, man. And I think it was just my mind playing tricks on me, but I swear it looked at me right in that moment because I was so scared.
Ah.
And if you guys watch the trailer, there's a moment where it's just giving you a shot of that tree, and just all of a sudden it just like
Oh
like
man.
its eyes moves at you like and it
Yeah.
looks at you, and oh dude, that like freaked me out. It
That like
reminded me of that.
unlocked memories. In
Yeah.
your head, yeah. Damn. Dude.
And so I was like, oh, this game's gonna be really creepy. It's games like targeting people like us that grew up in these like around this type of environment.
All
And
right.
so
So sublin. Oh my! I can't really say that word. Subliminal.
yeah,
Okay.
give it a look, man. Like I'm hoping it like does well, but it sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I were like to talk about like what I'm looking forward to with horror, I mean, shit, dude. Tormented Souls 2. I played the first
Oh
one.
yeah.
I really enjoyed the first one. Well, I wouldn't say I really enjoyed it, but I thought it was good. I'm looking forward to the sequel. It should be coming out like early next year, like the first quarter of next year. So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any like upcoming horror games that I can think
You
of.
losers. You don't have anything good.
You have the phone on you, dude. So you have a whole fucking like list.
There's rumors of Resident Evil 9 populating.
Yeah. I wanted to say that, but I don't until I see it.
I think we're gonna get something in the VGAs. I think.
You think?
Yeah.
That'd be fucking
You think
cool.
so?
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
As the way they're like the track record as they're doing like every 2 or 3 years, I think we're gonna get something.
Okay.
Okay. Like you said, yeah, I got a list here. Not a list, but like I had to look it up. Alien Isolation 2 is supposed to come out pretty like next year.
Next. Oh, okay. I like the first one.
I didn't know it was that soon. I didn't know.
I also didn't know that was that soon. Or are you making that shit up, man?
Oh, says to be announced. My bad.
Yeah, so it's not even fucking coming out, dude. Come on, man.
This one also to be announced, hopefully soon, is OD from
Hideo Kojima.
Yep.
Okay. That's a good one.
There's another one that again supposedly supposed to come out this year, but we haven't heard shit. Was that new John Carpenter game?
Oh yeah.
It kind of looks like Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that one, but we haven't heard anything.
I think that's gonna come out like late next year.
Yeah.
I feel like See, that's the thing with horror games is that like it sneaks up on you, dude. Like the ones that you don't expect, it just drops.
Yeah.
A random month, and then you're like, oh, what the fuck is this? And you go pick it up and you play it. Like that's kind of how survival horror games are. Like the more indie ones, well, not the big AAA ones, but so. I get the suspicion that next year something's going to come out that's going to like just surprise us all, and we're going to end up playing it.
That new Silent Hill F.
Silent Hill F. Townfall is also supposed to be in development. You're playing Slitterhead right now. What's like your first impressions?
I don't know.
You don't have first. You've been playing it for like 2-3 hours. How do you not have?
The thing is, it just opened the world to me. If that makes sense.
Okay.
It was mostly all like tutorials because there's a lot to fucking learn in that game.
Really.
And it's pretty cool. Like the graphics is not that great, but the gameplay is where it holds up. And it's so different. Like you said, you like teleport to different people. You can like jump. Like kind of like Prototype.
Yeah.
Kind of like that.
Right.
And you're just hunting down fucking demons called Slitterheads, basically.
Okay.
I don't know if it's.
But is this? Is this like a horror game or is it like more of like horror action?
I say more action than horror. Yeah.
But it has its roots in.
It has its roots, yeah.
In horror.
Are you talking like Devil May Cry kind of vibe?
Oh, you're talking more like Ghostwire, huh?
Ghostwire, there you go.
It's like
yeah.
Ghostwire.
Okay.
Have you played Ghostwire, Josh?
No, but
add that one to your list too.
Yep, it is.
Yeah, it's not terrifying, but I love that they gave some recognition to like Japanese, like urban legend, like horror and stuff like that. Like that's really cool. I think Ghostwire's gonna get a cult following as years go by.
I think you're right, but I have something to talk about here.
Okay.
Like with Callisto, Ghostwire, Slitterhead, you can put all those games in there, right? They don't get all these recognition that it's supposed to get, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. And
which is kind of sad.
Maybe that's what the topic of this episode is.
No, like for Ghostwire. Coming off the heels of Evil Within 2.
Yeah.
And this one, like, people should know, like, oh, this is from Tango Gameworks.
Yeah.
And it's another horror / action game.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it doesn't sell well. And that's where it kills me to like, look what happened to it. You know, it kind of went out of business until who bought them out? I forgot who did.
The people who did PUBG, the guys who have striking.
See, it hurts that because like even Immortals, that one was a new IP, completely different.
Immortals of Avium.
I like that one.
That
and
one's a good game.
It didn't sell well. Now the new studio shut down.
Yeah, that sucks.
It sucks because I want those games to
succeed.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah,
case,
that's what Josh was kind of like advocating for Callisto Protocol, man. It's like gotta give it its flowers, you know. Which I agree, you know. So But no, keep going. What are you gonna say?
It just sucks. Like, the game producers or whoever is in charge of that shit.
Yeah.
If it sees it doesn't sell well, they shut it down. And then no sequel, no nothing.
Case in point, Dead Space 2 remake. Like that was supposed to. From what I remember, it was kind of in development. Like, like they were working on it, like pre-production or something, and they just like no, they're not gonna.
Just because it didn't sell well.
Like even though
it got well reviewed.
Yeah.
Know that, like, it doesn't matter. It all matters. I know it sounds, fucking ridiculous, but it's all about the money to them,
Unfortunately, that is the case, dude. That's true. And this is EA that we're talking about. Like, they're gonna fucking do. That's even worse.
So you don't think we're going to get a Dead Space 2?
Maybe.
I think we will.
Yeah.
Because the first one, I mean, spoiler alert, the remake actually teased the second one.
Yeah. With Ellie.
No. And the remake, the secret ending, it kind of teases the second game coming in.
Okay. I thought
you guys remember
one of the audio logs that
No.
Okay. No, go ahead. I don't think I remember.
You guys haven't seen the secret ending for Dead Space remake?
No,
I don't think so.
Really?
Jeez.
Okay, so
or maybe I'm just forgetting.
Now you guys are slacking. How can you guys defend Dead Space over here?
Yeah, what the fuck, dude?
All right.
No, this was a cool thing that they did. I don't remember what you need to do to get this ending, but there's a unique ending towards instead of like where he looks to his right and what's her name, like just jumps
Nicole?
at it, or Nicole like is there like whatever.
Yeah.
It's him going crazy, and he has a bunch of things written around the ship. You know how like he goes crazy in the second one and builds him a marker.
Yeah.
It's basically like him building the sketch or the blueprints to create a marker, which teases the second one coming in. So I'm assuming because of the success they made with the remake, they're jumping into the second one.
God,
but
we're watching the video right now, dude. And Adam
and
Sandler, dude, he killed it as Isaac.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I had no issue with them using the real voice actor for him, but they could have made him look more worn out from everything that happened, just like the old model did, man. That like,
so sorry, is it teasing that he went crazy then?
Well, he does.
Yeah, I mean, he does go crazy.
That's how they get him to build the marker.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Because he's brainwashed, and then he just basically creates the blueprint to create the new marker over at I forgot what moon it is in Saturn.
It's Titan or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Titan, 4 or some shit like that. I can't remember.
I think I like this ending better than the one we got.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it teases, like Josh said.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, let's hope that they do. I don't think it's going to happen as quickly as people wanted it to originally, because I'm sure people were like chomping at the bit for 2 remake. I think we'll get it though. But like Josh said, I think it's just it's going to take more time to get the remake for 2. You know?
Yeah. I hope before we get the remake, we get a new Callisto that
I was gonna say, man, if it comes out at the same time,
better.
If it comes out at the same time as Dead Space 2 remake, Callisto Protocol is gonna have to go up against Dead Space 2.
The best Dead Space. Yeah.
So hopefully we do get a Callisto Protocol 2.
It's like
time to breathe.
It's like the same situation with the Horizon. It comes out in the wrong fucking time.
It comes out in the wrong time,
dude.
Man.
Yes,
it comes out at the wrong fucking time. Like the remake just came out, and it comes out at the wrong time where there's games like Metaphor that's out. There's games like fucking Final Fantasy. Like Horizon can't catch a fucking break, dude. And the problem is that it's actually really fucking good.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, I have to admit, I haven't even played the first one yet, man.
Oh, man.
And I know I'm missing out. Because my buddy
good,
has told me so many times to give it a try. But it's one of those things where, and you guys understand, like, it seems like almost every other month we get a solid title come out that crap, we gotta this is the one I got to play. You know.
Yep, I agree. I think you should play Lego Horizons first. No, it's kind of.
I was gonna say, come on, man.
No, I think Lego Horizons is like a retelling of the first one. So I guess if you wanted to play it, I don't know, you could play Lego.
Well, I know Josh is a Final Fantasy guy, right?
Yeah.
Have you played 16 yet? Right, 16 is the last.
Final Fantasy 16.
No, it's one of the many that I haven't played, man. Like,
yeah, that one's it is definitely different from the other.
I've heard it's mature. Like,
yeah, it is, and it's nothing like the other Final Fantasy games. It's there's barely any side missions, dude. Barely any side missions. So much so that the game tells you which side missions that are important. Because everything else is like, you don't have to fucking do them.
Right.
Like, the game literally tells you, like, if you see this sign above a character, that's an important side mission. You can do it if you want. Otherwise, you can just go from point A to point B and finish it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, like, one of the biggest things that people didn't like. Was that it was, like, a very linear Final Fantasy game, but the story was actually, like, really made up for it. So... How the fuck we get talking about?
I was gonna say I didn't want to interrupt you.
Hey man, I haven't talked to Josh in the longest time, dude. I'm trying to catch up with this guy.
I'm just saying, you know.
And you played the remake? was Final Fantasy VII remake?
Say what?
Have you played Silent Hill?
So I just
Final Fantasy.
I finished the remake this week.
Oh, okay.
I just bought Rebirth on this Black Friday sale, so I'm gonna hop on that pretty soon.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. I agree. Are you gonna get a PS5 Pro to play Rebirth? Because everyone says that's the best way to play it or whatever.
No, I am in the market to try a new experience, and I'm gonna probably give a VR a try sooner or later.
Oh, okay.
I want to experience horror in VR because I still haven't. Surprisingly.
Are you okay with Coke?
Whoa, Josh, again, dude. Why the fuck you keep bringing up?
Tell me to go away, man.
Yeah, go
get the
away.
fuck out of here, dude. Jesus Christ. Sorry, he's been on a Coke binge and he's just like, he's fucking. Anyways, yeah, no, this has been really fun to just kind of talk about horror games.
Hell yeah,
yeah.
We like to have you back on, Josh. We don't have. The other Josh doesn't really. We don't talk about video games with him that much. I think you could be our video game guy, man. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dude, that'd be great. Someone else.
Anytime we review a game, we can talk. All three of us can get on and talk about it. I think that'd be great.
Absolutely, man.
The thing
I'm
is,
more than happy to talk about that.
Hell yeah. I was gonna say the key point out of this podcast was Josh convinced me to give Callisto another try.
Which is fucking crazy. Crazy because you started from saying I despise it.
I know.
To being like, all right, maybe I should go back and give it a shot. Like,
just have an open mind. That's all I gotta say. And think about all the things we've talked about how people like new industries or companies struggle to bring their new title. You know, you gotta really appreciate. You gotta really appreciate what they're trying to do because I'm. Personally, as much as I love Resident Evil 4, which is the remake is one of my favorite games now of all time.
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting remakes. I'm tired of the same titles. You know, I want to see something fresh.
Yeah. I mean, we can both agree on that.
But sorry, I can be here all day. But like I said, people don't like that. It doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
which is you know,
hopefully the landscape changes.
Yeah, it changes. You know.
Hopefully it changes, but
Well, Slitterhead is a new game. That shit's fucking weird as shit and fun.
I don't know, man.
What?
Did anyone know that game came out?
Except for me.
Exactly.
I saw it and I was like, is that the one game that was announced like a couple years ago made by the Silent Hill creator or something like that? I was like, I didn't even see it on YouTube ads or anything like that.
It's such a niche fucking game, dude.
Just wait, guys. It's going to be
a cult following. I agree. I think it's going to be a cult following too. But, you know. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. But anyways, this has been an enjoyable podcast having other Josh on talking about Silent Hill 2 Remake. We got to talk more about it.
Horror games.
We got to talk more about horror games. I didn't expect us to debate on Callisto and Dead Space, but that was refreshing to talk to someone about Callisto and Dead Space and like their differences and stuff. We appreciate you being on the podcast, Josh. This has been great.
I appreciate you guys for
appreciate it.
having me here.
Yeah, we hope to have you back on again. Maybe we'll see. We'll set that up. But
absolutely.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said at the top of the podcast, go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment down. What is your favorite moment of? What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie? I'm gonna start with that. We're gonna start doing something that we're
Dead Space or Callisto.
There you go. That's perfect. Dead Space or Callisto Protocol. Comment down. Tell us what you think. We're going to start doing something that's called Comment of the Day, where we're going to pull comments and we're going to mention them on the next podcast. We'll see how that goes. Maybe that'll engage people to kind of, comment on the videos or whatever. But anyways, thank you guys for enjoying. This has been Two Brothers. And thank you, Josh, for being on the podcast.
Thank you.
All right. Oh wait, hold on. We're gonna end it like this now every time. Josh, do you have anything to say?
No.
Oh, shit! I thought. Hold on. No, I meant the other one. I meant the other.
Shit.
It's not porn. It's movie. It's cinema.
Oh god.